This video is sponsored by BetterHelp for World Mental Health Day. If you think that therapy is something you could benefit from but you haven't done it yet, click the first link in the description and explore your options. So I want to start this video by saying that I don't think I've found my life purpose, because I don't think that finding a life purpose exists. What I feel like I have done is created my life purpose. So let me explain why I don't like the term finding life purpose, as well as the three major pitfalls that I fell into when I was trying to find my life purpose that wasted so many years of my life. And interlaced within those three pitfalls, you're going to start to understand how you can get a life purpose, or at least how I think that you can get a life purpose. All of this is purely opinion. And once you get that life purpose, that's when stuff becomes meaningful and you know that each and every day you're not wasting your time and you're really doing something that is a lot of meaning. So the case against this life purpose idea is that we weren't born with a set specific life purpose. We don't have something in our DNA that says this is our life purpose. If you analyze a baby's brain, no matter how many tests you did, if you literally got inside that brain, you wouldn't be able to identify a set life purpose. Just like humans aren't a piece of computer code where hidden in the code somewhere there's a code that says this is our set specific life purpose. That sounds absolutely ludicrous. A life purpose will change over time and it's going to be changed by the society and the way that we were brought up. I don't believe that we have a set specific life purpose. But what we do know is that we're on this planet for a relatively short period of time. And whilst we're on that planet, we do different things, of course. And some of those things that we do are meaningful, and some of those things that we do aren't meaningful. If we do more of those meaningful things, that's when we become happy and we find our purpose. And it's those not meaningful things that we should try and minimize or eradicate. So instead of asking yourself the question, what is my life purpose? Ask yourself, what is the most meaningful use of my time? The problem is neither you nor I will probably ever find the singular most meaningful use of our time ever. And the reason I say this is because in life, in this planet that we're on at the moment, there is one singular person who has sneezed the most times. There's also one person who has, stopped in front of a red traffic light the longest amount of time. There is one person who holds that medal. But the thing is, that person has no idea that he holds that medal. He just can't understand from the place he's sitting in. He has nowhere near enough data to conclude that he is that person that holds that crazy medal. And the reason I tell you this is because who you currently are at the moment has nowhere near enough data to make a conclusion about what is the singular most meaningful use of your time ever. It's impossible for you to do that. You simply don't have enough data. So the question changes from what is the most meaningful use of my time to what do I think at the moment is the most meaningful use of my time. But then the next problem is that what is meaningful to you now will probably not be what's meaningful to you in 3 or 5 or 10 years' time. And how many times have you heard people say that you should stick to your roots, or you should be yourself, or you shouldn't change? They're talking to you as if you're some kind of fixed character, as if you're a character in a video game that simply can't change. And I actually fell out with a group of my friends a few years ago because they kept saying to me, you're changing, you're not who you used to be. And when they said this, I felt proud. I was like, yes, I'm not the same person who I was when I was 15. Do you really want to be the same person that you were when you were 15? Of course not. And humans are adaptation kings. People think that Darwin said that it was survival of the fittest. No, that's not what he said. If you look closely, what he said is that it was survival of the most adaptable, and the most adaptable species will win. Well, look what animal is winning on this planet. It is, of course, the human animal, which means that we are the most adaptable animal in the world. We're not some fixed character, we can change. The point being, who you are will change. Therefore, what you find meaningful will change over time as well. You can't sit here and predict what you're going to find meaningful in 50 years' time. Just look at what Steve Jobs had to say about this.
If I had never dropped out, I would have never dropped in on that calligraphy class, and personal computers might not have the wonderful typography that they do. Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college. but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later. Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future, because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path.
So now the question has changed from what is my life purpose to what is the most meaningful use of my time to what do I think is the most meaningful use of my time to what do I think is the most meaningful use of my time for the next couple years. But even with that, people try to skip steps. So here is a cup. The cup is completely empty. If I try to pour from this cup, what's going to happen? Nothing comes out. The point being, you can't pour from a cup that's empty. People try and skip. They go straight to what is my life purpose? How can I impact the world? Before they actually learn to help themselves. And this is something that I did for years at the beginning of my journey. And for a lot of people, the most selfless thing that you can do isn't spending all of your time worrying about how can I help other people. It's about focusing on how you can help yourself, how you can get your external environment to be in a way that you like it. That is the most selfless thing that you can do at the moment. And the best way to start to help yourself is to start to fix what's going on in your own mind. What goes in your mind can either make your life or it can completely break your life. So from having seen the people around me go through this, the best way to deal with that is through cognitive behavioral therapy, which is actually a therapy that's based on the philosophy of Stoicism. And from, again, what I've seen around me, the best place to get CBT is through BetterHelp, who are actually the sponsors of today's video, but I wholeheartedly recommend them, seriously, and they're sponsoring for World Mental Health Day. Now, I've personally had friends use BetterHelp, so if therapy is something that you think would benefit you, but you haven't got around to doing it yet, then make sure you click the first link in the description. And when you sign up, you'll be able to receive professional counseling from certified therapists and counselors, meaning they're very good and they're qualified to do it, through your phone, through your tablet, through your desktop, and the best thing is you can contact them anytime during the week if you need help. And when you click the first link in the description and go through that process, you'll be matched with a counselor or a therapist within 24 hours, which means very quickly you can get the help that you need. We live in a world where therapy is no longer frowned upon. It's something that people need and it's something that can really change your life. So if that interests you, go ahead, click the first link in the description. I appreciate you for sticking around to the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.